What I'm going to share with you today may change the way you look at tipping and yourself forever. Welcome back to another edition of A Cup of Joe, where we serve up that boost of inspiration to keep you going. Folks, we're excited to have you back. I'm sure you've had a fabulous week. But listen, I want to just give you something because I believe you've come here today to be filled so that you can keep moving forward. And that's exactly what I want to do for you. And I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about some of the origins of things that we do today and thinking about, well, why do we do it and how did our society shape it over time? And one of the things that they were speaking about was tipping. You know, like tipping your server or tipping your barber or whomever we tip nowadays in American culture. And they were talking about where it actually originated from centuries ago, the whole idea of tipping. And I thought it was very interesting because, you know, today we tip at the end of the service. Like we tip based off of kind of what is the industry standard, you know, 20%, and we give it at the end based off of their service. But the person was explaining, I don't know how true it is, you can fact check them, I'm just going to go with this for my lesson today, all right? Is that they said that the word tip was actually an acronym to ensure promptness. This word TIP came from to ensure promptness. And I was like, oh, okay, very interesting. Because what they were saying is that originally it was giving up front. Because if you're going to ensure promptness, well, the way to ensure it is to give it up front, not at the end. Agree? And I thought that was very interesting because I had worked some years in the restaurant industry, and I had several times where somebody would tip me in the beginning because they were like, yeah, that's what you should do. You know, people always like to teach you a lesson, especially those old timers, right? They like to teach you a lesson while they're giving you a gift. And I was like, thank you so much, sir. And he says, what I'm trying to do is make sure that you always have my drink filled, make sure that your service is prompt and on point. So what he did is he invested up front to ensure the promptness on the backside. And it got me thinking about how often do we wait to receive something before we give our all? You know, how often do we wait for at a job, we're like, well, I'll put in extra effort when they give me the promotion. No. You're tipping like we do today. You're waiting to see what it's going to give you before you give your all. You see, what we're doing at our workplace so often is that we're like, no. I'll wait to see what your service is like before I tip you. We're waiting for someone to give us a promotion externally before we ever put in the work internally to promote ourselves. So what happens so often is that we now have gotten accustomed in our mind and our thinking that I'll wait to see what they give before I give them something based off of what someone else gave me. And I'm not talking about service here. What I'm talking about for a lot of you is what are you putting into yourself? What are you putting into your family? What are you putting into your job up front? Not waiting to see what you receive, but you're putting it in the beginning to ensure success. Like, for example, if you want someone to be kind, do you wait on them to be kind back to you? Or you do it in the beginning? Because what I want you to know is that don't wait to receive it before you give it. I'm going to repeat that one more time because I don't know if you caught it. What I want you to do is don't wait to receive before you give. Just be a giver. Give more kindness. And watch how the kindness starts to trickle into all aspects of your world. Open the door for someone. Smile at them. Compliment them. Do the things that you can to spread the kindness, not because you're waiting for it to be reciprocated, but because you want to just put that out there. Because let me promise you this. What you do in advance without expecting anything on the backside speaks more about who you are. The kindness that you put on the front says who you are as a person. The effort you put in at your job says a lot about who you are as a person. So what I want you to take away from this lesson today, what I want to fill you up with that boost of inspiration is think about this. Where am I waiting to give when I shouldn't wait and I should just give it in the beginning? Where is it in my life that I'm waiting to see what I receive, like we do with our servers at a restaurant? We're waiting to see how good is their service before I tip them. What I want you to think about is, where in my life should I just go ahead and give it up front because I'm expecting things to go the way they should. But even no matter what, let me just say it that way, no matter what, I'm going to give my all because that's who I am as a person. So don't wait. Do it to ensure your success. Give it up front. Don't wait till you receive it to see how much you should give. Folks, listen, I don't want you to take this message and just hold it all for yourself. As I tell you every single week, take this message, share it, pour it back into someone else, encourage them to say, hey, look, I heard this message today about tipping. And instead of doing it on the backside after I see how someone's going to give me their all, how the job's going to give me what I think I should deserve, you know what? I'm going to put it up on the front side because that's who I am, and I'm developing a certain muscle. I'm developing a certain value. I'm developing a certain character trait because what I want to know is that I want to see what I can put out in the world without waiting to see what it's going to give me back. So folks, take this message, share it, like it. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe down below. We thank you so much for joining this Cup of Joe community every single week. And until next week, continue to give your all and be your best because that's what you are. Thank you.